Looking at Chapter 1, A Market for Nutritious Foods. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our case study. On page 3 in our textbook, there's a short case study that has 3 questions. So we're going to read through the case study together, and then I want you to think about your answer or your response as you go through the rest of the chapter. Now, in your interactive notebook, you're going to see a spot where you're going to answer those 3 questions. But what I want you to do is I want to see if you can hold off on answering those questions until you read through the rest of the entire chapter so that maybe you can have a more educated response. So, Tyler is the owner of a busy family restaurant downtown. He was on his way home after a long but satisfying day of work. Tyler had reached the elevator to the parking garage when he overheard a conversation between 2 of his employees, a cook named Kenny and a member of his waitstaff, Jada. "Did you see that special request for a gluten-free dish?" Jada asked Kenny. "How did you fill that order?" Kenny responded, "I never worry about that kind of request. I just give them the regular menu item and pretend it is special. There is nothing to that stuff about gluten. I've never had anyone get sick from a meal that I've served. What's the difference as long as they enjoy the food?" Dismayed by the conversation, Tyler went home to think about how to address the situation. Now, as you read through the chapter, I want you to think about these 3 questions. 1. What are the problems in Tyler's establishment? 2. What are the potential solutions to these problems? And 3. How can Taylor determine that the problems have been solved? So as we go through this chapter, these are the learning objectives that we're going to want to cover. The first one is you're going to be able to recognize and explain the current market need for nutritious menu options.
It's 8 o'clock.
You're going to be able to define nutrient and nutrition. You're going to be able to identify health issues caused by poor nutrition. You're going to explain opportunities for food service professionals with knowledge of nutrition. Identify industry trends in the area of nutrition, and you're also going to be able to identify credible sources of nutrition information.
It's such an exciting time to work in food and nutrition. Everywhere you look, there is a growing interest in the connection between food and health. And with this expanding awareness comes the need for more people like you to choose a career in dietetics.
The field is always growing and evolving, and there are so many different career paths you can take at this point in time. It used to be kind of cut and dry, but now, if you can dream it, you can do it.
The science of food is so interesting to me because everybody eats food, so it's relevant to everyone, and you can really make a difference in people's lives.
There are so many reasons to pursue this unique and valuable career path.
In thinking about what I wanted to do as a career, I always just thought I'd go into medicine, go to medical school. But the more I thought about it, I realized what I really wanted to do was to help people prevent illness. And to me, nutrition and dietetics is the perfect fit for that.
I went into nutrition because I absolutely love food, and I think it's very important for people to understand how the food that they're eating affects their health and their bodies. And that's what everyone is interested in.
There are so many reasons why I went into nutrition. I think the main reasons were influenced by my diagnosis of thyroid cancer, and this influenced me to want to take something that I've always been passionate about, which is food, and create healthy options for people.
Dietetics is a great way to kind of merge a love for medical knowledge and health with a love of food.
From schools and supermarkets to restaurants and athletic fields, the professional opportunities are endless.
When I went into dietetics, when I first started out, I thought the only thing I can do in dietetics is work as a dietitian, registered dietitian in a hospital, and that's it. But now that I'm here, and now that dietetics is such a growing field and more people are interested, you can work in schools, you can work in outpatient, you can go to patients' homes. I think it's really important to know that with a major in dietetics, you can work in almost any type of setting you want.
Why I love working with children is because you can make them as passionate about food as you are. Just a simple message will impact a child's daily life all the way up until they're an adult.
Sport Nutrition combines the best of all possible worlds. It's our culinary expertise, it's our clinical expertise, and you get to work with active people, telling them what to eat, when they eat it, and how much. That is a home run.
As a supermarket dietitian for Meyer stores, I help consumers sort through the confusion because all those decisions about what they're going to eat starts in the grocery store, and that's where we become a very valuable resource because we can guide them and show them how to make those healthier choices.
At Vital Bridges, I provide one-on-one counseling either in person or through telenutrition sessions. Along with that, we provide food specifically for people who are living with HIV/AIDS.
Right now I'm working in health IT. So as a dietitian, there's not that many of us working in this area. So my challenge right now is to be that trailblazer to make that path for us as nutrition professionals working in the health IT space.
I've spent most of my career working with failure to thrive children and underserved populations. The greatest impact that I could have as a dietitian was to work with people who didn't have enough food and to make sure that I increased awareness in all ways so that we made sure that people had enough food.
With a career in dietetics, you are guaranteed to experience the reward of helping others and changing lives.
Nutrition is the one area where we can intervene and actually change people's lives. How many jobs can you say that my job every day is to make people feel better, live longer, and to be happier? And we get to do that as dietitians, and that's why nutrition is so important.
I've always just loved to help people and to share information, and if I can do that and help improve their lives, that's just the best thing.
It's always exciting to see the fruits of the labor, so to speak, that what it is that they put into their body is translating to allowing them to run those skills, to hit those home runs, to throw somebody out at the plate.
I find it very rewarding to be in the field because I can help people in the community make healthier choices and living a healthier life.
The best part of any profession, and especially with dietetics, is getting to work with people, and since we're all about food, getting to work with people and food. What's going to be better than that?
The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics is your source for everything you need to start your path towards a career in dietetics. To learn more, visit eatrightpro.org/career.
As you can see, that dietetic nutrition is a vast opportunity. So if this is something that you feel that you would like to go into, there's a lot of resources out there to kind of help you figure out what schools to go to and all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to be looking at nutrition, and we're going to be looking at how everybody on an everyday basis use nutrition. So there is a growing market for healthy menu options, just like our case study pointed to. We have a lot of individuals who are gluten-free or dairy-free or paleo. All of these are new trends in diets and foods, and so as a individual you need to know what these are and what some of the importance and nutritional benefits and deficiencies that each of these types of diets offer. And so if you're going out to eat, restaurants and other food service establishments afford people the chance to experience new tastes and have new favorite foods. Eating out at restaurants and other food service operations have become an enjoyable part of the American lifestyle. Nowadays, we have a lot of food being prepared outside of the home, and about 1/3 of the calories Americans consume and 1/2 of the money they spend on food each year comes from dining out. So I want you to think about some of the foods that we eat that are prepared outside of the home. Just waking up today, if you had breakfast in the cafeteria, that was prepared outside the home. If you're going to have lunch, that is prepared outside of home. If you go to the co-op and get a bag of chips, it was definitely prepared outside of the home because you didn't make chips at home. But you can see how we rely on food outside of the home on a daily basis. And so it's really important how to understand what the benefits of on that fast lifestyle is, and also some of the things that aren't so good for our body. Now, the majority of the units in this chapter in this book, we are going to be looking at it more of a perspective as a food service operation. When we do our labs, we're looking at making things for people that's not you. So we're not making nutrient foods for your family. We're looking at how you as a restaurant or a food service worker can have a better menu to be more healthy and more nutritious for your customers. So we're going to look beyond food handling. Customers depend on restaurants and food service leaders to be knowledgeable about food handling and to meet food safety requirements. Healthcare providers are urging more and more Americans to decrease their intake of calories, sodium, solid fats, and added sugars to help curb things like obesity, diabetes, and hypertension. Nutrition experts are also encouraging the public to eat foods with higher levels of nutrients like fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Now, these trends are going to affect local restaurants and food service operation because a larger number of people are looking for dishes that fit their physician's recommendations. And that is why you are going to see a need for nutrition education and nutritionist specialists. These careers are budding and they are becoming more and more important in daily operations of fast food restaurants, of hospitals, of food service facilities like high schools and elementary schools and preschools, because we're not just serving our kids processed chicken nuggets and deep fried french fries anymore. We're looking at how to incorporate healthier options, lower sodium, more fiber in their diets. You go to any restaurants, even fast food restaurants nowadays, you're going to see a change in menu labeling. Federal regulation mandates that restaurants and vendors with more than 20 locations must prominently label your menu items with calorie counts and have additional nutritional data available to the public on site. These changes are requiring that food service operators be more knowledgeable about nutrition and routine nutrition analysis, since they're going to be the ones responsible for interpreting those data and positioning on their menus. People eat the foods that they eat. It could be social reasons. It could be religious reasons. It could be just the sheer availability of foods. Regardless of that, we do need to look at things called nutrients and nutrition, because contained in the various foods that we eat are varying amounts of chemical compounds that are called nutrients. Nutrients are essential to the body because they help maintain, they help generate, and repair tissue. In order to maintain optimum health, we need to provide our body with the most nutrients on a daily basis. Now, nutrition, on the other hand, is the science of how the nutrients in food affect our health. It includes the study of how the human body ingests, digests, absorbs, transports, and metabolizes foods. Nutritionists are scientists who examine why people choose the food that they do. Now, yes, you can go to the grocery store and buy some vitamins. You can buy vitamin A, you can buy vitamin B, C, D, whatever. But food provides the energy to build body structures and to power the many chemical reactions that enable the body to function. Studies shown that it's best for nutrients to come from the food people eat rather than dietary supplements. Accessing nutritious food outside of the home is a daily struggle for many people, and the stakes are high. Having insignificant or excessive quantities of nutrient can result in impaired health. Good nutrition is important for all people at every age. When people do not have access to adequate amounts of nutritious foods, they may experience negative health consequences such as weight loss, weight gain, impaired immune systems, and anemia. Impaired immunity leaves people abnormally susceptible to infections and diseases such as the cold and flu. A person who eats more than enough calories but has poor vitamin and mineral intake may become both obese and nutrient deficient. Now, on the other hand, people who consume too many calories, regardless of the food's nutritional content, may gain weight and increase their risk of Now, on the other hand, people who consume too many calories, regardless of the food's nutritional content, may gain weight and increase their risk of developing diabetes and high blood pressure. Many people do not realize that they are even overeating. Overweight is often a result of gradual weight gain from consuming a few hundred unnecessary calories each day. Diabetes can result from a gain of just 25 to 40 extra pounds. What people choose to eat is ultimately up to them, but an informed choice is always a better one. The same goes to this. Long-term dietary choices may result in chronic diseases due to the lack of a critical structure nutrient such as calcium. For example, repeated dietary shortages of calcium and vitamin D can eventually lead to osteoporosis. Having too little levels of vitamin C causes deficiency in one of the major antioxidant vitamins, leaving the cells unprotected from damage due to metabolic reactions. Consumptions of more than the recommended daily amount of sodium can lead to high blood pressure. Restaurants today have expanded their menus to include a wider variety of options that fit into healthier lifestyles. Others have begun marketing to people who find it difficult to eat out due to their need for special meals or products. When dining out, customers want good taste and value. They want food that is aromatic, colorful, and full of flavor. This is because people experience food through all five senses. And contrary to popular belief, healthy, nutritious food can satisfy those people's senses, as long as the chef understands and applies nutrition principles when developing recipes. The food and restaurant industry is in dire need of professionals who are educated in nutrition and can provide nutritious meals for all dining situations. When managers understand the dynamics of combining nutrition science and the culinary arts, they can meet their customers' needs for nutrition and their desire for sensory enjoyment. Food service professionals should understand how to provide food that is both tasty and nutritious. Now, looking at the list on page 7, these are some nutrient-related jobs. I want you to think about this. If you were to become any of these jobs on that list, which job would you like? So, you're going to do a little bit of research. Your next project is going to be a dietary career fair. You are going to select a career from the list on page 7 of your textbook, and you're going to develop a career profile. Now, I will have the profile rubric on Blackboard, but I want you to think about this. It's going to be a 3-day project. So, things that you don't get done in class, they need to be finished at home for homework. On day 1, we will spend that time researching. So tomorrow when you come to class, you're going to choose your list or your career from that list, and you're going to research. I'm going to have a list of things that you're going to look up, and you're going to make notes on them. Day 2, you're going to develop your PowerPoint. That means when you come to class on day 2, all of your notes need to be completed. We don't have time for you to go back and finish your research. That should have been done yesterday, or it should have been done for homework. So, day 2, you're developing your PowerPoint. I will have a list of slides that you need to include on your PowerPoint. If you do not get those slides done on day 2, guess what you're doing for homework that night? That's right, you're going to finish your PowerPoint. And day 3, everybody's presenting. Now, if you do not have your PowerPoint, if you do not have it finished, you will get a 0. It's really important that you understand this class hinges on you being able to accomplish your work outside of class. That is why we have a lot of blended material.